Hello and welcome to our video on 20 funny facts about astronauts. We all know that being an astronaut is a serious and challenging job, but did you know there are also some hilarious and amusing stories about these space explorers? Let's dive into the funny side of space travel. Astronauts can't burp in space because there is no gravity to separate the gas from the liquid in their stomachs. So, they have to release gas the other way around. In space, astronauts grow taller due to the lack of gravity compressing their spines. But as soon as they return to Earth, they shrink back to their original height. Astronauts have to eat dehydrated food in space, which means they have to add water to everything they eat, even their pizza. In space, everything floats, including tears. So, if an astronaut cries, their tears will just float around their face until they wipe them away. Astronauts have to exercise for at least 2 hours every day to prevent muscle and bone loss, which means they have to use a special treadmill that has bungee cords to keep them grounded. Astronauts can't take showers in space, so they have to use no-rinse body wipes to stay clean. Astronauts have to wear diapers during takeoff and landing because they can't use the bathroom in their spacesuits. In space, it's impossible to whistle because there is no air to carry the sound waves. Astronauts have to sleep in a sleeping bag that is attached to the wall, otherwise, they would just float around and bump into things. In space, the sense of taste and smell is greatly diminished because of the lack of gravity. The longest time an astronaut has spent in space is 437 days by Russian astronaut Valery Polyakov. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before going to space because it can cause gas that would be difficult to manage in a spacesuit. In space, it's possible to see the Great Wall of China from orbit, but it's very difficult to spot it with the naked eye. Astronauts have to sleep with their arms inside their sleeping bags to prevent them from floating around and hitting something during the night. The first food eaten on the moon was a communion wafer by Buzz Aldrin during the Apollo 11 mission. In space, it's impossible to cry because tears can't flow properly without gravity. Astronauts have to drink their own recycled urine in space because there's no other source of drinking water available. In 1969, Apollo 10 astronauts Gene Cernan and Tom Stafford wrote on their mission checklist, "Let's not tell NASA we saw a UFO." Astronauts have to be careful when sneezing in their spacesuits because the force of the sneeze can cause their helmet to fog up. In 2019, NASA sent a plush Earth toy into space to keep astronauts company and remind them of home.